The China group is going to be broken into 3 separate presentations. That's the way it is right now. So for China, this is the program mapping. These are the destination vectors from the refuge cities, showing where they're coming from to China. We have these overlaid on China.
Refuge city or like a rural town?
Actually mean refuge. I shouldn't say refuge city. This is the information we got from the refugee project.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know for sure if it's a refuge city or if it's a rural.
We'll just associate something between that, yeah.
Population.
Migration. Where it's coming from, where it's going. This is on China, Guangdong province. So we have Shenzhen, our city, shown there, and then on the city proper. So we looked at 4 different types of diagrams to show program: land use by building type, construction by year, what they call urban villages, and then population disbursement. They look way better on the screen.
Yeah, that's really muddled.
Yeah, I'll fix that for the next
So,
presentation.
land use is what this is showing, is the different zoning between government, commercial, residential, and warehouse zoning within Shenzhen itself.
So yeah, government, commercial, residential, and warehouse.
And then this is building construction throughout the years as Shenzhen has begun to populate more. And so seeing the correlation between the two of how those zones started to appear from the construction itself.
Could you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, could you go back to the program one for a second? So is there a center in a way of that warehouse district? Or it's evenly dispersed?
It seems to be mostly coastal
Okay.
because of shipping routes
Right.
and things like that.
There are so many smaller nodes within the city.
Right.
It's like a bunch of smaller districts within the city. I guess we could maybe show those in the next presentation to show the districts. Were you done?
Yeah.
And so here we have sort of the distribution of what they call urban villages. Right now, a big issue in China is the mass migration from rural lands into these urban areas. And so these villages are sort of dense enclaves of those rural inhabitants. And this shows the distribution throughout the city. And then population disbursement by district. Again, I can overlay the district boundaries. But we thought this sort of this topographic sort of map here illustrates well the density and the volume of population throughout the city.
Does it correlate also to the boundary record, or is it just the distributional kind of algebra?
So I'm not sure what you mean by that, but when I constructed this, I put the highest population in the center of that province or of that district, and then created the extrusion based on
Okay, so
that.
they're not. Okay.
So they're
I'm just saying, like the width of that, the cone at the base, that's relative to the way the city actually expands out.
not necessarily, no.
Just like the graph.
Yeah.
Right, it's really diagrammatic.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
And that's it for program.
Yeah.
We're more or less walking through our
Show
show.
So one of their requirements was that they have the reaction, and they also make all of this go to kind of tangible elements so they can go back and do it later. So I think there were issues with the presentation, so they're going to get involved with the layers on and off, which is next phase. Anyway, things happen. It's good for us to know that we get involved as well. What? Yeah. This is just, handshake. Control L.
Control L.
Alright, so the next part would be transportation. An important thing to note, or I guess we're talking about airports, railways, highways, major roads, and minor roads. So there's a major airport in Shenzhen. It's a little above the densest part. It's up here where a lot of people would arrive by plane to stay there. And right there in the blue is a shipping port, and it's where a lot of tourists come in, where a lot of big ships come in to let a lot of people on the island from other places around the world. But definitely it's an international airport. And I'm sorry it's blurry. I don't know why it's like that. On the railways, the gray part is showing the 3 major dense districts in Shenzhen. And as you can see, this diagrammatic railway section, or railway diagram, all of them converge in like the major area with civic buildings. So you can see those red circles show the major intersections, which would be right around here, which is where the major civic buildings are, which is the densest part of Shenzhen. Really interesting. Highways, I don't know, it's blurry. Highways go throughout Shenzhen, but we mainly focused on the dense part of it, which is right there, but it's hard to tell there.
How did you pull that information? Is that off traffic reports? Or?
That's off Elk,
Okay.
off of the openmap.org thing.
Gotcha.
Major, minor roads, there's a lot of these. We focused on the same part again, the dense part, but it's hard to tell on the diagram. Sorry. And then all of them mixed together. So we got railways, highways, major, minor roads. And it's a little clearer, you can tell again the densest areas right here, major areas of Shenzhen, which are really important to know. Go to energy.
So because Shenzhen is a big commercial center in China, and it's like China's producer factory. So a lot of producer going on, and electricity is the main part. Not only because like factory needs that, but also the residents. Like summer it is the hottest place in China, and so the air conditioner with a lot of gonna use a lot of electricity, and as well as winter, because in China south part you really don't have the heating system. So in winter they gonna still use air conditioner to heat it up, and the red dots are the energy storage units, and we can show the dense part really are the dense part in the Shenzhen city also, and the squares are the 2 squares are new nuclear power. They are new setting. And this shows the oil source in China, and we can see there is a bigger source plant here. And but after 3 years ago, Shenzhen changed the liquid system, oil system into natural gas. But honestly, Shenzhen doesn't have that much oil source, natural gas. So we have the energy system to transit all the natural gas into here. Their natural gas system just completed in last year, and now they're all energy are basically, especially the residential, are using natural gas.
Then we'll go to water, so where the reservoirs are. There's many reservoirs in Shenzhen. Again, we focused on this major part here. And the biggest reservoir is right here, which is, I don't know the name of it exactly, it's kind of hard to say, but it holds about 15 billion gallons of water for them. And even the smallest one, right here, even the smallest one holds like 750 million gallons of water. So I mean, they have a lot of reservoirs there, which is good. And then disposals. So the major landfill in Shenzhen is that one located right there, and it's a really interesting area because it's a huge area that they have to incinerate. They incinerate over 8,400 pounds, and it's a huge area where the landfill is. And also, Hong Kong is a little further down, like the area of Hong Kong, and they want to expand the landfill over there too, but people are like, no, we don't want to because it wastes a lot of space. But so you can see it's a little out of the dense area. It's a little up there. The dense areas are down here.
This diagram's really effective because it gives us an idea of what's going on underneath, instead of just the line drawing. But I think also having the opposite of Hong Kong there, so we can see that relationship of proximity, would be helpful.
So having shown the boundary
Yeah,
where it
just as
goes.
you just said it,
Okay.
it's like, I do know where it is kind of, but on this diagram.
Okay. On to pollution.
And because the factory produces a lot of gas and which makes Shenzhen's air pollution is a very serious problem. And I find some information shows they have these dogs to check the air condition, air
Yeah.
information.
These are stations that check that tell the pollution if it's bad or good, like stations around the area.
Yeah, as you can see, these three things are really has really serious air pollution problem. But in this part, it is on the hill, so the air is cleaner.
Would you say, is that like over a year or 5 year, any kind of idea of duration of that pollution? you're
These
talking
3
about?
years probably.
Okay.
And this is the generally ocean polluted condition. And because these 3 dots are the dense area, which is about heavy industry here, and here is the products and the assembling and the chemical products here. So the waters has really serious polluted problem, and a lot of them even out of the level 5, which is the most serious water polluted condition.
Is that like sort of, like, say, not drinkable, not go in, like we don't touch it, level 5?
Level 5 is,
Curing all the fish?
yeah.
Yeah, probably anything that's in there.
The fish don't die in that.
Okay.
And is it pollution that starts airborne and then the sediment is what gets into the water, or is this, is it a water vector through, say?
Comes from 2 actually, which is because the factory put all the wastewater directly into the seawater. Also because there is another key city which is Guangzhou, and it's also a very heavy polluted city here. And after they pull the water down, the line flows all the way from here. So which means this one has a more serious problem.
So just pipe it up.
Carried in the water and in the
Yeah.
sewage.
It's perfect. Yeah, that's the last one.
I think if you guys develop this kind of pollution layer, having the prevailing current and then the long-tail current, so that you see where it's going to. And the way it comes up.
Like the currents of the ocean that carries
Yes,
it.
and because maybe it's not just generated from Shenzhen, maybe it's also.
Yeah, it comes down.
Like she was saying, yeah, like that way that's come down. No, it's good, I'm just saying, yeah, it was good. It's a nice diagram, it was,
So what we're gonna do first, since we really are lacking any, in the diagramming department, and show you what we do have, and then we're gonna kind of walk you through our Rhino model, layer by layer. This one's packaged. Sorry, guys.
just the beginning.
Definitely packaged.
Right, because it's CS6.
Alright, so what I'll do first is show you, so we actually overlaid the streets on the topography, streets, buildings, waterways, everything like that, and fauna and flora as well.
You can just close that. Yeah.
So all my stuff is here.
I'm sorry?
All my stuff are in the presentation.
Okay, so just present what you guys want to present.
Alright.
And we'll discuss later.
So everyone have a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, close that next to Chrome. Yeah, just close. Wait, no. Just the button next to Chrome on the bottom.
Yeah. That's good.
Just close that.
Yeah, I have it on my laptop.
Yeah, just grab that. Just preview.
Can you go grab that from Scott?
So Shenzhen has a variety of types of bedrocks in the soil, and it's the variation from marine sand, granite, and those 8 types of bedrocks. And then there are a lot of hillside in Shenzhen area, and we thought we will zoom in a little bit in the major urban areas. So I just get this topography for the most dense area in Shenzhen.
And then this, it's a little small, but this is our flow diagram. And what this is based off of is just it's a northeasterly flow predominantly, and there's a lot of valleys and kind of alleys through these the mountain range, and the higher we correlated this with the higher the peaks and the slopes, the more intense the winds would become, as well as the closer that those slopes were together. And then this is just an example of what we have. So we have this for all the flora and fauna. This is just one diagram. But what this shows, it's a definition that kind of, I forgot the name of it, but it just like, I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, it's the area where certain species are located and how far their outreach goes within the country, or this, country, so yeah, this is just a Siberian tiger. I'll walk you through the layers of all the
So their
other ones.
range?
Yes, their range, yeah. And what this is useful for is you can then correlate that with maybe waterways, slopes, some different temperatures. Yeah. So here, so this is topography that we gathered. And what we did was we overlaid the major roadways. And then this is all from Kyle and Doris collected. And then highways, minor roads, these all go, buildings, and then waterways and railways. And then on this one, So what we did here is that map that I just showed you. You can kind of see a little more clearly the range for each one. So that was the Siberian tiger. We focused on 4 species of each that were seemed to be more familiar with Shenzhen, I believe. So the red panda. Pelican is really a migration of bird species. So this really, it seemed to trace over where the red pandas and the Siberian tigers are located as well. But this is really a westerly movement, or easterly movement, sorry, to the west. And then here is the water buffalo, which seem to be in this region, and then up over here in this area.
Are these historic or based on existing habitat and present?
Existing habitat, it's based on, I did a lot of research on location maps for the species, and then also if I couldn't find good data or relevant data, I researched the specific environment that the species requires to live in, and then I kind of intuitively just decided, you know, if it's on like bamboo, I'll show you here, through typically warmer climate, so it would be on the south side of slopes predominantly, and it's going to come up closer. So it's based off of, there's actually slope ranges here, and this is where bamboo's located, but bamboo's really all over the place down there. And then the banyan trees as well, and hibiscus, which is just flowers. Those seem to be just about everywhere in Shenzhen. The powder puff bloom, which you can kind of see there. Sorry, it's a little hard to see. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're heading for now, and then also Ting. What other? Do we have other diagrams too?
Can you remember you showed us, me and Doris, before in class, like how they like the water buffalo overlaid into waterways?
Yeah, so yeah, I'll just show you an example how we started to put this together. So you see the waterways here, and then the water buffalo locations seem to be around this reservoir here.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, this is really cool.
That's exactly what that index is doing.
And then this, yeah, it's just the red panda and Siberian tiger. The migration paths seem to be all the same area. And then the wind too, I'm sure that plays into it, but that's on a different rhino file. That it isn't fully developed, so.
Do you have any?
Oh, in the street, yeah. So this was the first one we noticed. What is this? What was it? Major roadways. Oh yeah, sorry, I totally forgot. Yeah, I did a population. So I found like the densest area. So this is kind of what Antonio did. It's a little more zoned in, even closer within this one general area, which is I think just the central hub of the city. But you have these cores right here, and then bounded. It's kind of interesting. So I did this. This was a definition. I still don't fully understand it yet. But when I turned on this rendered view, it really follows the perimeter of the city and where it's inhabited. And then if you turn on like the major roadways, you can see where the grid is getting really dense and heavy. It's correlated with these central nodes. And then maybe these are connected to freeways. So turn on the highways. You see the highways going out here. That could be correlated with satellite cities, kind of like Bellevue on the west side.
So wait, the nodes were generated from those densities, or how did you get to that?
Yeah, so I just a bunch of research on different maps of the density within the city. So it was based off that. It was based off the buildings, building numbers, population numbers, and we're also looking at the map as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I have all the data, but
Yeah, interesting. That's kind of telling for.
yeah, it's interesting because it seems that, I mean, this is a very zoomed in scale compared to this one. It's really just this area.
Yeah, where is
Yeah.
it here? It's us.
Right here. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Ting. Yeah, so it's just this general area.